Hello, I am Davina, and hello to all of you bold, beautiful, brilliant, and highly evolved souls. Today, I'm going to talk about conversational narcissists. And, well, pretty much every narcissist is a conversational narcissist as well. And I would say the three main things that you will see, and it's pretty obvious, is that number one, they completely dominate, control, and hog the whole conversation. So it really seems more like a monologue. And it might seem like they're trying to interact with you. They're looking at you and they might even ask you a question. Um, but somehow they end up doing all the talking and they decide what you're talking about. And it just always seems to just go back to them. And so you're left probably feeling um, confusion, shame, a lot of anger, and it can be extremely, extremely just infuriating. The second thing is that they will interrupt you. So when you finally think that maybe you're going to get a chance to say a few words, you'll start to speak and they will just cut in. You might only say like 3 words or maybe a sentence, and they will cut in and say, "Oh yeah, that happened to me the other day," or they'll just like somehow take whatever you said and lead it into what they want to talk about, sharing their story or whatever, trying to make themselves, I guess, look good in some way. Like, look at how awesome I am. I'm an awesome father. Look what a great, I don't know, blah, 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 or. And the third thing they do, which is obviously probably obvious too, is they don't listen. They will not and cannot listen hardly at all. And so they might, again, they might ask you a question or even maybe seem to show interest. But then when you go to like share and express your feelings, your thoughts, or whatever is going on with you, they might just, again, like just cut you off, or just, they might even just turn away, like just like suddenly they'll maybe move to another area if you're standing, to sort of avoid sort of really interacting with what you're saying. And they won't respond to you. So you could say something, but then there's no response. And they just, again, start rambling about whatever they want to talk about. And it feels very, very disconnected. Like there's nothing really getting through. Like it's like they're just having their own conversation. They might even answer a question for you. So they'll ask you a question and then they'll go ahead and answer it for you. And yeah, this has been happening to me recently, and I need to feel more infuriated, I think, because I'm in heaps of shame today, which just, I think, feels like exhaustion. I don't think I'm necessarily exhausted. I think it's just a whole lot of shame, a whole lot of grief is coming up for me. This is extremely painful. It's happening. It's happened to me a few times recently. It's just started happening with my employer. And so if you're in this situation and you think you have, a narcissist on your hand, or a conversational narcissist, which doesn't necessarily have to be a narcissist, but they have that trait. And of course, like for people like us who, I'm a scapegoat, and you're just used to being used, right? And that's what it feels like. It feels like you're just being used, like they're just talking at you, unloading at you, blah, blah, blah. And there's no real reciprocal thing happening. And yeah, you can leave this kind of conversation feeling, I think what comes up for me is I just feel really besides feeling infuriated and ashamed, really kind of an empty feeling, real, a feeling that obviously takes me back to my childhood, of just, it's a horrible feeling for a child when your parent is not attuned to you, and they're supposed to be your mirror. They're supposed to be validating you. They're supposed to be like interested in you and asking you questions and listening, and when they're not doing this, it can, yeah, just, leave you feeling like just empty and just useless, and yeah, like you're just being used, and just a really horrible feeling. So if this is happening to you, it's really important to understand that it is not your fault. Because as scapegoats, we think, oh, it must be something innately about me that people feel like they can just like talk at me. Like, what does it have? Like, I have a t-shirt on that says please talk at me. I'm not a, it makes you feel like you're not really existing, or that you're like a non-person. um and so yeah, I think getting angry is always a good way to just sort of start breaking out of that feeling. And it is a flashback, and it's a flashback to when, yeah, when we were children. And yeah, I guess I am monologuing here, but anyway, um, yeah, when we were children, we didn't have the chance. We didn't have our voice because we were with these people that did all the talking, that controlled the conversation, that when it became something they didn't want to talk about, they would just leave or cut you off or give you the silent treatment. And yeah, I am kind of rambling today, and I'm kind of blah, but I wanted to get this out because it helps me a lot to express myself. And yeah, if you can, like, yeah, find, and it's hard to set boundaries. It's so hard to set boundaries. That's maybe a whole nother video. But if you realize that this is happening, it's not your imagination, it is really happening. If you need to record the conversation so that you like really believe that this is what's happening, do that. It took me till this week, and this has been happening for a while now, to really stand there and clearly see what was happening. And I could see, oh my gosh, he cut me off, and now he's like, I could see it much more clearly. Which helped just sort of give me a little bit more space in terms of like not feeling just that huge amount of shame, like what's wrong with me that someone is doing this. But when you turn it around and find your true self, in any case, when you're in a flashback, find your true self, and then you can find the clarity and set a boundary from there, and know that you have a right to set a boundary, and that you don't have to listen to anyone that you don't want to listen to. You can be the one to just walk away. You're just like, hey, you're just talking at me and I'm out of here. You have the right to do that. You have no obligation to anyone, not if they call themselves your father or your aunt or your brother or anyone, even your boss. But of course, you might risk losing your job. But yeah, you are a worthy person, and you deserve to be treated like a human with who is deserving of being heard. And yeah, so that's just what I wanted to say to you today. And I hope this has been somewhat validating. Maybe not my number one top video ever, but thank you. And I'm wishing you many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening, and you are so worth it. And I'm Davina of Boldness Blooming.